We're back here on the Lynne Hayes Freeland Show. We're talking elections, and Khari Mosley is my guest. And before the break, I was asking you about, sometimes they say that it's really about local elections because it's the local stuff that really affects our daily lives. And this wasn't my intent when I brought it up in the last segment, but one of the races that's coming up, and by the way, the primary is May 18th, just so you know, if that's not on your radar, let's put it on your radar. There is a mayoral race. At this point, what we know is that Bill Peduto is running again. Ed Gainey is running again for the office of mayor. Tony Moreno is running for mayor. Will Parker is running. Those are the four that I know. Are there others that you know of?
Those are the four that I'm aware of as well.
Okay. Nobody running on the Republican ticket at this point that you know
It doesn't appear, but we'll know more on Tuesday, March 9th, when everybody has to finalize their petitions. And if there is a Republican candidate, we will know by that day.
Okay. When's the last time? Can you recall when the last time we've had like a viable Republican candidate running for mayor?
It's been a very long time.
Okay, which I think is unfortunate in the city of Pittsburgh because it's such a heavily Democratic city. We don't often see strong Republican candidates running. I just like good races. You know what I mean? I like to see a good race, whatever that looks like. But anyway, so 4 candidates running for mayor in the city of Pittsburgh. The other big race it looks like is going to be there are, what'd you tell me in the commercial break? 6 judicial seats open. 9. You did 9. That's a lot.
Yes. Yeah, there's 9 seats open in the Allegheny Court of Common Pleas. At least 3 dozen candidates have been announced. Full disclosure, my wife, Chelsea Wagner, the county controller, is one of those candidates. But it looks to be a very wide and diverse field. And there is a lot of grassroots organizations, throughout Allegheny County who are supporting candidates. And there's a lot of folks working to kind of raise the profile of this judicial race, because I think there's only about 40 some seats in the entire county judiciary. So almost a quarter of the county judiciary is up. So it is a generational opportunity to transform the judiciary, and particularly those who have been pushing for progressive criminal justice reform have shown a high amount of interest in wanting to engage the public in these kind of races like never before.
But then that's a good example, though, when I talk about local races can make a difference. That's not to say that everybody in Allegheny County comes up before the bench, so to speak. But when you talk about positions where people can make a difference, have an impact, that's a perfect example of when we look at those empty seats, when we talk about, races that really can be life-changing, who's sitting on that bench makes a difference. That's a huge, when we talk about all those empty seats, that's huge. I can't even remember the last time we've had that many judicial seats open at one time.
Absolutely, yeah. It's been an extremely long time, since we've had this opportunity, again, to transform the judiciary at a time when more and more people are paying attention to law and to justice. And obviously, this week we begin the trial of the police officers involved in the death of George Floyd. So people more than ever are looking beyond mayor, governor, president, and then there is a conversation going on throughout the country, particularly those involved in civic engagement, who are beginning to ask the question: have we spent too much time, trying to get people elected to city council and school board and mayor and senator and governor and state house, and not spending enough time paying attention to who's the district attorney and who's the magistrate, and who's running for judge. So I think we're seeing a national shift in focus. They're saying these are some of the positions that can truly even have an impact more. And there's no disrespect to your local school board member or your local city council person, but a county judge could have a huge impact on the lives of people on a daily basis.
Well, yeah, and I agree with that, but I want to just go back a little bit because there are some folks who would say, for example, the Pittsburgh Public School Board. I mean, City Council has raised some questions about what's happening in Pittsburgh Public Schools. And there would be some folks who would say that maybe we need to look at the Pittsburgh Public School Board. And I don't know off the top of my head how many of those seats are up, how many of those folks are being challenged, but there would be some folks who would say that maybe this is the time to look at those positions as well.
No, and you're actually absolutely right. And there actually does appear to be a huge groundswell of candidates running for school board around the city in the various districts. In the West End district, there's a number of candidates at the East End. A number of the incumbents are being challenged as well. And I believe there's competitive races in 4 of the 5 school board seats as of right now. So it does appear to be folks responding to many are responding to the frustration, of the delayed reopening in the Pittsburgh public schools. And I guess folks are maybe responding to other frustrations, but we are seeing it out there, as we're seeing obviously support for the incumbents and those also rallying to the support of Superintendent Hamlet as well.
Yeah, I'm guessing, and I only know the number of times that folks have reached out to me already to say, hey, are you interested in moderating a debate? Are you interested in moderating a forum? No real details. I just know that folks have reached out. Bottom line is, we have a lot of races that are coming up, and folks need to come out and participate. We're seeing, we are seeing some of these events will be virtual, some of them will be in person. As we kind of wrap up this conversation, I know that you stay on top of these issues. We will try to stay on top of them, but we need folks to get involved. We need folks to pay attention to what the issues are.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think we are saying that. One thing, I didn't mention was the great work by the Alliance for Police Accountability that worked to get 2 ballot measures, on the ballot, one to end solitary confinement, and also in the city of Pittsburgh, a measure that would ban no-knock warrants, also known as Breonna's Law. So they did the work of getting tens of thousands of signatures throughout the county to get that on the ballot. So I think that's one example of people getting more engaged in the process.
So I'm guessing we'll talk to you a lot over the next couple months between now and the primary on May 18th. And who knows, maybe we'll have a debate or a forum right here on the show. Khari Mosley, always a pleasure to have you with us. I appreciate you, sir.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. We'll be back to wrap all this up in just a minute.